Hello, my name's Toby Thompson. I'm here today with Dr. Mark Johnson, Senior Research Fellow and Principal Investigator for the project we're looking at, and Marco Bastel, Research Fellow and Lead Researcher for this project, gentlemen, which is the Service Network project, which seems to cross quite a bit of Cranfield here. Mark, tell us why this, why now?
Before I answer that question, it's worth taking a step back and understanding the motivation behind the pan-university collaboration. So this project is run under the auspices of the Innovative Manufacturing Research Centres, which is funded by the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council.
IMRC.
Yes. And the later stage of certainly Cranfield's IMRC is motivated to understand how manufacturing is changing in the UK and the need for it to essentially move up the value chain and add more services and add more value to the end customer so they can engage through life and increase their profit margins and increase the sustainability of their businesses.
Well, what does that mean, though? What does that mean in terms of an organisation? What are they offering to the consumer? I didn't quite get that.
They're moving away from offering only products, and they're bundling products together with the services. So they're offering something what we call an integrated offering. It's a bundle of products and services together. Okay,
so where is the motivation from practitioners? Why do managers and senior strategy people inside organisations, why do they need to consider this right now?
Because otherwise their business will die.
Because they're not thinking more broadly?
I mean, the reality is manufacturing in the UK over the past 25 years has seen a massive reduction in terms of its contribution to the UK's GDP. A lot of it has moved overseas to low-cost economies. So it's a move away from competing on cost and towards differentiating what they offer to their customers and acknowledging actually these people can play a bigger part in their customers' business. So if we look at Rolls-Royce with their total care offering, which is, as Marco mentioned earlier, an integrated offering, they're beginning to essentially provide thrust or power by the hour. So companies, airlines are paying Rolls-Royce essentially for power. Not for the actual engine, not for the associated maintenance. All of that's below the surface, but what they're actually paying for is the thrust.
It's a different way of looking at a supplier-consumer relationship. Marco, what is your research showing you? What are you digging up in your research? What are you finding?
So far, we are seeing that networks are one of the most important key success factors for provision of integrated offerings. Companies are dependent on their networks. And very often what we see now trends is that when companies are moving towards provision of integrated offering, where product is provided by, for instance, OEM, a service gets...
The OEM being the original equipment manufacturer.
Exactly, yeah. Service gets provided by external network. So we see that the structure of network is changing, the relationships that should govern and sit on top of that networks are different, and the governance mechanisms, as traditionally being formalized contractual relationships, are not good governance mechanisms anymore. Companies tend to move away from that towards relational norms and trust-based relationships.
So, Mark, would that mean that they need to look down on the network of suppliers and customers? How does that manifest? What should people be doing in terms of that network?
I think they need to acknowledge that they can't manage the service elements of their network on product principles, because if I have a supplier that's providing me with a service, they're going to have to interface with their customer, and that essentially means they're going to come into contact with them. So you need to place a huge amount of trust on those guys not messing the relationship up and providing your customer with exactly what they want without destroying the relationship between you and your customer.
So the benefits to industry generally is what? With this view that if they were to take this research that you've done and apply it somehow, what does that application mean and what's the benefits for that?
Our project will assist management with improving their business practices. We're going to help them visualize their networks, what to control, what they should control versus what they can control. We're going to show them how dynamics in the network between companies, how company affects company, how relationship affects relationship, and how companies affects relationship work, as well as what is the right choice of governance mechanisms in the relationship between the provider of the integrated offering and its customer, meaning the choice between contractual arrangements versus trust-based or relational norms, for instance.
So a fundamental new way of working by the sound of it, Mark.
I'm not sure it's a new way of working, or rather it's a we're becoming a little bit more rigorous about understanding the differences. You know, it's not supply chains, it's supply networks, and products and services are fundamentally different and therefore need to be managed in a very different way. Because I think, as we have both said, they are different and they require different mechanisms for management. You know, services are much more variable than products. So how do you begin to deal with that variability?
Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. For those of you keen to find out more about the Service Network project, please log in to the Cranfield University website. Thank you for watching.